Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. This episode was supposed to be filmed last night, but I keep having to film and then stop and then film and then stop. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the advice one today. And I would just go ahead and load this one today. So you guys get a bonus video this week. I wanted to discuss some helpful study tips for medical coding students. So I had a viewer write in, and she was talking about that she was in school and she was doing a study group with some of the other students from the class, and she wanted to know what study tips I had. So I was like, you know what, that would be a great episode to put out there. So if you are in school, or even if you are doing studying online and you want to sort of get a study group going, find some other people that are trying to study and get their certification as well, because doing study groups together is a really good idea because you're all motivated, or at least hopefully all of you are motivated. So if you are all motivated, then you can encourage each other, because this is all about encouraging each other. You know, a lot of times, especially in the beginning, we are all like, what the heck are we doing? You know, like how are we going to get into this? You know, we feel in over our head, and I felt like that in the beginning too. I was just like, wow, this seems like a lot, you know, but I was ready for the challenge. You know, I wanted that challenge. I wanted to be able to do something different with my life and start over and just, you know, have this really good career. But there were times I was just like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, it is a lot. Like, and this is coming from somebody who had no background in medical at all. I was so far away from medical when I was that age, and I was in medical coding school. I was so far away from medical, it wasn't even funny. Like, this wasn't even in my alley, you know. Like I said, I mentioned on videos before, I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid. I was so far away from medical. I had no thought even to be in anything having to do with medical. You know, it was all, I wanted to do law. I wanted to practice law. I wanted to be a lawyer, you know, and, you know, be a paralegal first and then, you know, work on becoming a lawyer and things like that. But that was not the path for me. And this, you know, being a medical coder is. So some of the helpful study tips that I had when I was doing a study group as well. I did have a study group. It was just a couple of us ladies that had got together, and they were trying to. It was for the evaluation and management section. The problem is sometimes if you get into a study group and not everybody has the same studying philosophy, so that is one thing you do have to kind of look out for, because I literally read the coding book for evaluation and management when I was in school. I literally read it from cover to cover because everybody was failing that part of the course, and I did not want to slow down. You know, I had made it through at record speed through all the other courses, and everybody said that that course was going to slow people down, and that to take your time and be careful with it. So I literally read that book cover to cover, and you know, people in my study group were like, well, why are you doing that? You know, you don't need to do that. That's unnecessary. And I said, well, I'm going to take advantage of everything that I can when it comes to this particular topic, because you know, this was the one topic that was slowing everybody down, and rightfully so. You know, evaluation and management is there are so many things to that. It's like, okay, you know, you really have to read the rules, and you really do have to understand what all the elements are, you know, what qualifies as what element, and what body system are they referring to here, you know, what are they talking about there, and you know. So that was my thing. But aside from the flashcards, which I will always advocate for flashcards, and if you get tired of hearing me say flashcards, I hope you do, because then in your head you'll be like, oh my gosh, she said flashcards, I gotta do flashcards. So subliminally I will be saying flashcards, 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 because anytime you write stuff down, it commits stuff to memory a lot better. And I've also mentioned this before on another episode. When I see people not taking notes or not writing stuff down, those are the people that are the most lost. I'm just being real with you all. There's no reason for me to lie or try to say anything that's discouraging, because it's not meant to be discouraging. It is literally meant to, if you are not writing stuff down, you will probably forget it. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be retained, and in order to be retaining it, your brain and your body need to connect. This is why I think writing stuff down really does help. There is a small percentage of people that can look at something and then it's already committed to memory. And they're lucky. So I'm just saying, but it will help you if you write stuff down and you do handwritten flashcards. And if you're doing handwritten flashcards, trade them with each other. Maybe do a deck of 25, and then somebody else in your group, everybody in your group does 25, and then you can sort of pass them around and then drill each other. It's all about drilling each other. Go online and look up the crossword puzzle. They have like free crossword puzzles, and I'm not going to leave a link because there's so many different ones. So there's crossword puzzles that you can create yourself. This is really good, like a really awesome tool to teach each other and help for each other to learn. So you can create one, and somebody else can create one, somebody else can create one, and then you can sort of pass them around and then be like, oh yeah, well this clue means this one, or this clue means this one. Never ever discount the value of playing educational games, and crossword puzzles are a freaking awesome educational game. So it also will help you to remember, like, oh yeah, this means this, and it's this many letters, and it's this many, and then it's this word. So that's where crossword puzzles really do help. That was one fun thing I really liked doing when I was in school as well, is creating those. And my mom was the one who came up with that. She started looking online and she was like, this is really neat, because they have a lot of those for educators. So a lot of times, like people who are teaching like elementary school and maybe middle school, high school, they'll go on there and they'll be looking up these things. And this is a fun way to teach, to learn, to be able to retain information. So that is one of the other things that, I can suggest. Also, being accountable for each other. You're all in it together. And especially if you're in a class and maybe your instructor is just, proctoring you and not really doing a lot of guidance, which sometimes can happen. Okay, I'm not saying all the time. So if you're an educator and you're watching this, please don't think that I'm saying that. Just remember that your instructor is not going to know that you don't understand unless you speak up. If you speak up and say you don't understand, can you please explain it another way? Or can you please expand on what you mean when you're saying this? That will help your instructor to know, hey, maybe I should explain it a different way. But if they don't, if they're not able to, or if they won't, then you need to take other avenues of finding stuff out on your own. There's plenty of resources on the internet. You can come here, ask a question. You can go to either association website and try to see if you can get some sort of guidance that way as well. Read the book, whether it's the ICD-10 book or the CPT book or the PCS book. Take advantage of all of your resources. Again, with the coding companions as well, they are broken down by specialty. Coding companions are a wonderful, wonderful tool. So Coder Desk Reference breaks down for procedures and for diagnosis. It gives a layman's definition of them. If you do not have access to an encoder, this is really, really helpful. I've given the websites that you can go to, helpful websites for medical coders. I'll probably leave that in the description box below, the link for that video, because that has a lot of good websites for medical coders. And even if you're a medical coding student, it's also a really good studying tool as well. But if you are doing the study groups, make sure that you share everything that you're getting, all of the information, so that way you never know what you share will help somebody else. Okay, so drill with each other, like just do little pop-up quizzes, maybe, 25 cards. It takes maybe 10-15 minutes to go through those, if you're going really fast. Make it a game. Try to see who can get the most, who can get the most correct, and try to just work that out. Don't burn yourself out studying too much, though. Okay. Make it like, schedule these times and make it consistent. Okay. And don't beat yourself up if you guys can't meet all the time, or you can't meet, 3 times a week. If you can just meet once a week, that's fine, because at least this way, you guys have a consistent, workout time with the studying. Okay. This will help you, because I think, in terms of being in a community of coders, helping each other and talking things out and working things out really does make a difference, rather than trying to go at it by yourself. And if you're an online student, like you're in an online school, that's okay. This is why I have my channel, so that you all can ask questions. I have Q&A Tuesday, every Tuesday, every week. So just go ahead and submit questions, and ask specific questions. The broad questions of, well, what do we do here, or how did you get this? This is where you have to be more specific, because I don't know, and I'm not I didn't go to school to be a teacher. Okay, so what I do is all based on research. That is all I've ever done. So I always try to sharpen my skills, especially when I'm giving a class, at work, or if I'm doing a one-on-one with a provider or another coder. I always try to sharpen my skills when it comes to, educating adults, because even though I don't technically have the title of a teacher, I still like to share what I know, and I know that helps other people, and that's the ultimate goal, because I love what I do. I love being a medical coder, and like I said, I still do at least 20 hours on my own of studying, whether that's reading the New England Journal of Medicine, or reading the Journal of AHIMA, or, going on another website and checking it out and reading something, or getting a book and reading. I still do studying all on my own, continuously. So, but yes, those are my advices. And, of course, when you are in a study group, what else makes a study group more fun than food? So I always like to, whenever I was in a study group, I did like to bring food, and it was very surprising to them. They were like, "Wow, you brought us a snack," because sometimes when you're sitting there and you're eating popcorn, or you're eating something, really quick, you can be like, "Oh, it's a fun time." So this way, this will help. And a lot of times people forget to eat, and they forget to drink water, or they forget to drink a cup of coffee when they're studying, because they get so into it. This way, your mind can be fueled with something, you can stay hydrated, and everything will work out. So if you are new to medical coding, you're still a student, don't get overwhelmed. That's my biggest bit of advice. A lot of like anxiety when you're first getting in is like, did I take on too much? Did I, am I ever going to pass this? Am I going to do really well as a coder? Will I like it? Don't try to think too far ahead. Okay? Just take it literally a day at a time. And then when you take it a day at a time, you can take it 1 hour at a time. 1 hour at a time. Okay? And just devote yourself when you are working, when you are trying to learn. Make sure that you are focused. Even if it is 1 hour of pure focus, that is still 1 hour of pure focus, rather than having 3 hours of distracted, like, I got to stop and I got to go do this, and I got to stop and I got to do that, and then I'm going to start again. Oh, no, wait, I got to stop and do this. No. It would be better if you had 1 whole hour, or even 1/2 hour of solid study time. Because once you stay consistent with that, that will help you, because then your brain is going to be like, okay, it's learning time. We need to concentrate. And once we do that, we will start learning. So that is my studying tips for today. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions, if you have been a student before as well, leave them in the description box. Leave them in the comments below. Share those study tips with your fellow coding students or fellow, medical coders, soon to be medical coders. We're all here to help each other. That's what it's all about. All right. So I will go ahead and close up this video, but I will see y'all on Monday. I hope y'all are having a good weekend, and I will see y'all then. Bye.